Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another News Coolum video. Today's video, our nice little adventure begins as most adventures begin, with the break of day. So I'm trying to head up to a nice little trout lake that I always used to fish with my dad. And now this is about a 4,000 foot elevation increase that we're going to see, and through national forest roads. Typically a fairly slow road, and it's only about 15 miles, I believe, up about 4,000 feet in elevation, but average speed probably is only going to be about 25 miles an hour. Well, there's the lake.
Well, so far I've been skunked, but as they say, a bad day fishing is better than a good day in the office. Don't tell my boss I said that, though I think he watches this channel. Anyway, the wind was kicking up. It's a little bit hard to fish in one spot, so it's time to go mobile. But to at least keep this somewhat electric vehicle related, my efficiency coming up here was about 1.8 miles per kilowatt hour. Now I've come up here in the volt before, and so I know if I drove cautiously, I could get to the top of the mountain and still have just an itsy bit of battery capacity left. But this time, no issue with the Bolt EV. I got up here and I used over 10 kilowatt hours of energy, just like the Volt would have done, or the Volt did, sorry. Got a tangle. Just as the Volt did. A big old osprey. But the Volt would then, of course, be out of juice. So it's not quite the same thing. I still have 50 kilowatt hours left. Now, the problem with the Volt, though, is you get up here and you're on top of a mountain. You could easily make it down without using any gasoline, but the engine would kick on anyway. And the reason for that is, well, you use 10 kilowatt hours of energy. So the return was ridiculously efficient and hardly burned any gasoline at all. But just that 0.08 gallons of gasoline that you had to burn to get up here. You know what, America? You know what really grinds my gears? Burning gasoline unnecessarily. It's Loch Ness. Just had an osprey attack. The ducks are smart enough to duck out too. Get it? Duck out. Wah, wah. Back to electric vehicles. You notice the efficiency for the 16 miles or so up here from the Forest Service Center is ridiculously poor efficiency. And you notice here too, with I use 10 kilowatt hours of energy. I mentioned this before because I've actually come up here
in my Volt before, and typically I can barely make it to this lake driving very, very conservatively on a single battery charge. But what ends up happening is, the engine starts kicking on. But here, there is no engine. 40 kilowatt hours, or I mean, 50 kilowatt hours of extra energy left. So now we head back down, and we go down about 4,000 feet in elevation. So, well, hopefully it's a nice scenic drive back down. I made mention in another video that there are a lot of things that I do in my Bolt EV and a lot of things I would do in my Bolt EV that I would not do in a Model S, which was sort of my other option at the time I bought this car. And yeah, so you're seeing some of it now, right? So had I purchased a Model S, it more than likely never would have been used for a trip like this. I would have left it in the driveway and possibly taken the Volt, or also the F-150. So there you have it. But I mean, we do have a stretch of paved road here for a little while. And actually, even still, even in, this car, I ended up, in the Volt EV, I ended up scraping the nose a little bit on one of the potholes. So, again, yeah, you need a fairly high ride height, and a short wheelbase actually helps a lot in these areas. It's much more difficult to get high centered. Now, the best estimates that I've heard are that the Bolt EV should use an extra 1.5 kilowatt hours per every 1,000 feet of elevation increase. Again, my best guess on this is that we increased about 4,000 feet in elevation. Well, that would mean we used an extra 6 kilowatt hours to go that 4,000 feet up. Now, that would actually make sense because that meant we would have used about 4 kilowatt hours to go 18 miles. And at the speeds that we were going, that would have been about right. Now, the thing is, the descent, we're regenerating some of that back. And I've heard varying numbers about what we should expect in terms of regenerative braking efficiency. The one thing, though, that I can say is it would be really difficult to estimate it on this return. By the end of the trip, I had recovered about 1.5 kilowatt hours of energy total. However, the thing to remember is that there are going to be losses in recovering that energy back into the battery, as well as the fact that a portion of that energy that you're regaining on the trip down, you're seeing it reflected in your efficiency, but you're not going to put it back into your battery because that's energy that's required for the car to overcome aerodynamic drag and rolling resistance. So the efficiency of the regenerative braking will, if you're looking only at what's sent back to the battery, that should be about 70 to 80% efficient. All right, well, we're almost down to the information center again, and it's not quite the exact starting point, but it's getting close. But we're already up to 4 miles per kilowatt hour, and I haven't really been, babying it too much. So, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty interesting up and down again. You basically end up with a net of pretty close to EPA estimated miles or efficiency. So, and of course we're still not done descending yet, but we're pretty much close to where we were. Energy screen is back down to 8.8 kilowatt hours, so we've gained 1.2 kilowatt hours on the descent. Anyway, we're pretty close to where I first ticked off, so yeah, round trip efficiency 4.2, 4.3 miles per kilowatt hour, not so bad. So time to head into the big city.
And this final screenshot shows my final efficiency after making it back to the charger. It regained quite a bit of efficiency, and like I said, I think 4.4 to 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour, given the speeds that we were going, is appropriate in terms of efficiency. And really, this kind of serves as an example that with mountains and elevation increases, electric vehicles really do generate back most of the energy that they lose. So I hope this video is helpful to you guys. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It helps out the channel. And as always, thank you for watching.